In the dead center of Australia, there rises a colossal rock, so vast it dwarfs the Eiffel Tower, so old it makes the Himalayas look young, and so mysterious it's been blamed for curses, ghostly apparitions, and even distortions of time itself. They call it Uluru, or Ayers Rock. To some, it's simply a natural wonder. To others, it's a living being, an ancient guardian with power that rewards respect and punishes arrogance. Over decades, tourists who dared pocket a piece of this sacred stone sent it back in fear, confessing tragedies of illness, ruin, and death. Rangers whisper about shadow figures moving across the cliffs and batteries that drain without reason. Uluru is not just a landmark, it's a portal into something older, stranger, and far more unsettling than a block of sandstone in the desert. Tonight, we step closer. Uluru sits in the heart of the outback, a blazing red desert that feels endless. It rises 348 meters above the ground, taller than a 95-story building. But here's the kicker. Geologists estimate 2/3 of Uluru lies underground, making it more like the tip of a colossal iceberg. Imagine that. What you see is only a fraction of the giant sleeping beneath. Scientists say the rock formed around 550 million years ago, when ancient seas covered Central Australia. Layers of sandstone compressed, folded, then thrust upwards. Over time, erosion stripped everything away, leaving Uluru standing defiant in the flat desert. It's not just a rock. It's a survivor of a mountain chain once as grand as the Himalayas. But Uluru isn't defined by science alone. For the Anangu, the Aboriginal custodians, it's alive with stories of the Dreamtime, when ancestral beings shaped the world. Every cave, every crack, every mark tells a myth passed down for tens of thousands of years. Visitors often feel it immediately, an unshakable sense that Uluru is watching, breathing, waiting. Then came the colonizers. In 1873, explorer William Gosser named it Ayers Rock, after a South Australian premier. To the Anangu, this renaming felt like an intrusion, an erasure of identity. And yet, the rock endured. By 1985, after long struggles, Uluru was officially handed back to the Anangu, a moment of triumph, but also a reminder, this place is not just geology, it's sacred ground. So here lies the paradox. One rock, two realities. Science sees ancient stone, spirit sees living ancestor. Between the two, mystery thrives. And that's where our story begins. It began quietly in the 1970s. Park rangers started receiving unusual mail, packages from around the world containing small chunks of red sandstone. Alongside them, letters, some written in shaky hands, some typed with urgency. The message was always the same. Please, return this to Uluru. My life has fallen apart. One German family wrote of 3 deaths, a bankruptcy, and a string of accidents after pocketing stones. An Italian tourist described a sudden cancer diagnosis within weeks of their visit. Another sent back 32 kilograms of rocks, yes, a suitcase worth, along with a confession of ruined health and family collapse. To outsiders, it sounds like superstition. Bad luck happens, right? But the volume of these sorry rocks is staggering. Thousands have been returned, so many that staff keep entire storage rooms filled with them. Some tourists even fly back just to place the stones themselves, desperate to lift the curse. The Anangu don't call it a curse. They say it's simple, disrespect the land, and you disturb the balance. It's like stealing from a sacred temple, you bring misfortune upon yourself. Rangers have seen the fear in people's eyes. Many arrive laughing about the curse. But when tragedy hits, that laughter dies quick. Whether coincidence or cosmic justice, the letters are real, the heartbreak is real, and the reputation of Uluru as a place where arrogance has consequences has only grown stronger. Rebecca, a tourist in 2009, swore she saw a figure at least 3 meters tall move along the base of Uluru at dusk, a shadow where no shadow should be. She felt a jolt, like static electricity racing through her body. Terrified, she fled, only to collapse minutes later in tears, convinced she'd encountered something not of this world. Tour guides tell stories of photographs ruined by strange shapes, dark blotches that look like people, though no one was there. Some visitors report hearing footsteps trailing behind them, only to turn and find emptiness. Guards patrolling at night whisper about voices echoing through caves, low, guttural chants carried on the desert wind. The Anangu speak of beings like the Kurpani, a monstrous dog spirit, and the Mamu, warrior spirits who protect sacred places. These are not legends told for fun. They are warnings, reminders that Uluru is alive with guardians. Skeptics call it imagination, fueled by desert isolation and fear of the dark. But even hardened rangers admit something's different out there at night. As one put it, "You don't walk around Uluru alone after sundown, you just don't." Countless visitors describe the same thing: cameras failing, phones switching off, batteries drained in seconds. Expensive drones refusing to fly, as if blocked by an invisible shield. One couple swore they lost 3 whole hours near the Mutitjulu waterhole. They'd wandered for what felt like 20 minutes, then checked the time, 3 hours gone. Locals call it time distortion. Some say the energy of the rock bends perception itself. Even modern GPS struggles near Uluru. Tour operators joke that the rock doesn't want to be mapped. Pilots have reported compass errors when flying too close. Scientists blame magnetic anomalies in the iron-rich sandstone. But those who've lived the experience describe it differently. Not a glitch, but a force, a presence bending the rules of reality. For believers, these malfunctions are proof. Uluru is more than geology. It interacts. It resists. For skeptics, it's just bad signals in the middle of nowhere. But either way, the result is undeniable. Technology bows before the rock. For the Anangu, Uluru is a storybook of stone. Every ridge, every cave, every scar carries meaning. The Dreamtime, or Chukurpa, tells how ancestral spirits shaped the land. There's the tale of Lungkata, the blue-tongued lizard who stole food and was punished, his body burned into the rock. Or the fight between the Kunya python woman and the Liru snake men, their battle scars etched visibly into Uluru's cliffs. To outsiders, these sound like myths, but to the Anangu, they are lore, lessons about greed, respect, and survival. Walking the base, you can see these marks. A long black streak where Lungkata burned, deep gashes where the snakes fought. It's not abstract, it's physical. This blending of geology and spirituality gives Uluru its unique aura. You're not just looking at a rock, you're reading a sacred text millions of years old. When Europeans arrived, they saw Uluru differently. To William Gosser, it was Ayers Rock, a curiosity to be conquered. Explorers climbed it, planted flags, and dismissed Aboriginal stories as superstition. For decades, Anangu people were pushed aside, their lands taken. Tourism exploded in the mid-20th century. Hotels sprang up at the base. Sewage and rubbish desecrated sacred sites. Tourists climbed freely, some even performing stripteases at the summit or playing golf on the slopes. To the Anangu, this was a knife in the heart, but the people resisted. Leaders like Paddy Uluru fought tirelessly. In 1985, a symbolic ceremony returned Uluru to the Anangu under a handback agreement. The rock was leased to Australia's Park Service, but ownership was restored. Finally, respect was written into law. And in 2019, after years of struggle, the climb was permanently banned. Tourists who once scaled it were forced to walk away. It was a moment of justice, a reminder that some places are not meant to be conquered, but honored. Today, Uluru is a UNESCO World Heritage Site, managed jointly by the Anangu and Parks Australia. Visitors come from across the world, not to conquer, but to witness. At sunrise, the rock glows crimson. At sunset, it turns purple and gold. When rain falls, waterfalls streak down its face, creating a sight so rare it feels magical. Uluru isn't static. It changes. It breathes. It demands attention. And for those who listen, it speaks not in words, but in feelings, in awe, in the quiet hush that falls when you stand before it. The mystery remains. Is Uluru simply a natural wonder, or is it a spiritual force woven into the fabric of the land? Maybe it's both. Maybe that's the point. So what is Uluru? A survivor of deep time, a sacred teacher of the Anangu, a stage for strange happenings, shadows, curses, broken machines, lost hours. It's a place where science and spirit collide, where respect is demanded and arrogance punished. Stand before Uluru and you feel small, not in a crushing way, but in a humbling way. It reminds you that humanity is young, fragile, fleeting. And yet, like Uluru, we leave marks. We write stories on the land, and the land writes back. Uluru doesn't give up its secrets easily, but maybe that's why it captivates us, because mystery is what keeps us searching. If this journey into the mysteries of Uluru sparked something in you, don't let it stop here. Hit that like button. It helps this channel grow. Subscribe so you don't miss the next deep dive into the unknown. Share this with mates who love a good mystery. And drop a comment below. What do you think Uluru really is? Just a rock, or something far greater? Because the more voices join this conversation, the stronger our search for answers becomes.